Where's Lisa?
She's
I'm
there. She's
right
putting it together.
here. Yeah, somebody took my thing, so I had to go find other. Oh, your headphones.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We'd like to welcome you to the Circle Fulfillment Group within WOMB. WOMB is women owned minority businesses that have come together to grow together. And today we are doing collaboration over competition. Because there is such a diverse group of businesses within our circle, we wanted to give you an opportunity to get to know some of the up and coming women entrepreneurs. On the panel today, we have Lisa Linkus, our personal chef, owner of Edibles by Lisa. We have Asia Steele, the owner of Lyrics Destination Travel Group. We have Lauren Fowler, the founder of Sankofa Phoenix Institute. Donna Britt, the owner of Waterbury Jewels. Valika
Hi.
Hall Young, the wellness coach and independent supervisor with Herbalife. Majida Bay, who's the founder, the owner, the financial strategist with Rainy Bay Enterprises. And Char Robinson is the founder and owner and the chief designer for a Design by Diva, a custom apparel company. And hosting today is yours truly, Grandora McDowell, the founder and owner of Consults for You. We'd like to talk today about our entrepreneurship journey. Any of you out there contemplating as to whether you should start this journey, hopefully somebody will say something today that will encourage you along the way. It wasn't all easy. It's not all pretty, but at the end of the day, it is a journey well worth travel. So I'm going to ask the ladies today if they would just chime in one by one and talk about what it meant to be stepping into entrepreneurship, because sometimes it's by choice, sometimes it's by force. Ladies, give us a little bit of your why of how your journey began.
I'll go ahead and start. I'm Majida Bay with Ronnie Bay Enterprises, and my entrepreneurship journey started about 10 years ago, actually. Maybe even before then. I got introduced to personal development and just saw another path, right, to being able to achieve the things that we want in life. And so in my current business, which I've been in for about 10 years, I was somebody who was actually seeking financial literacy and education. I did everything wrong financially. And so I had to, figure out how to get it right. Coming out of college as a college graduate, 21 years old, 6 months later, I buy a house, I get a car. So I went from college student broke to house and car broke. And so
Wonderful.
um, I
Wonderful
realized that,
learning.
like, wait a minute, there's a lot I don't know, right? I went from working minimum wage to having a salary, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna be able to live the life I want to live, and that wasn't the reality. I found myself very quickly frustrated, and so I started looking for some help financially. I was fortunate enough to find a mentor and a coach back in 2008, somebody who was willing to teach me what I didn't know about money, how to save, how to invest. And then after becoming a client of his and seeing how the program worked for me, he actually offered me an opportunity to come work with him. So that's really what got me into this. And I was just like, sure, if he helped me, maybe I can help some other people. And that's really what
Absolutely.
started my journey into entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Wonderful. Paying it forward is a great way.
Absolutely.
Who else has a why?
I'll start. My why came as a hobby. It was a hobby. It was something I like to do. I was doing it for myself. I had somewhere to go. I figured I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I would create what it was that I wanted.
Right.
And hence my Design by Diva custom apparel, which these lovely T-shirts we are all wearing
Yes.
has come from me, my design. And so, yeah, it started that way, and it blossomed into way more than I can ever expect. And we're still going. We're still going.
Wonderful.
Well, let me start. I said, well, my name is Donna Marie Britt, and I own Waterbury Jewels, Jewels from the Heart. It started out my wife. I work in the environmental field, so I see the stuff underneath a microscope to see what it really looks like. And I started taking classes, uh, and there was a lady named in here in Richmond called Rare Wear, a black lady, and I saw that she was making so much beautiful jewelry. That is my why, and that's what started me. But not only that, I became got to know what the stones meant, and that's my why.
Okay. Valika.
Well, hello. I'm Valika, and I'm an independent supervisor with Herbalife. And my why came about from one of my line sisters. I saw her lovely transformation, and I wanted the same. I'm an educator for 20 years. I love to educate and just share my wealth of knowledge. And so she encouraged me to, well, instead of giving me your money, why don't you start your own business and invest
Absolutely.
your money in yourself? My why is also for my son. I want him to see that he can become an entrepreneur, that I want to leave a legacy, hopefully not anytime soon, but I would love to leave a legacy for him and my future grandchildren, hopefully 30 years from now. But my why is also my son has diabetes, my dad has different health impairments, and I was borderline for some things. So my why was bigger than just tasty shakes and teas, but my why was just starting not only a healthy journey for myself, but for my loved ones as well.
Wonderful.
Right.
Speaking of healthy, Lisa, tell us how you got started on your journey.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa, and I am a personal chef. I do meals, and how I got started was my dad got sick, and I was watching what he ate and everything, and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So I started taking classes like any normal person, nutrition and all of that. And I started fixing all his meals. And I realized is watching his different areas of difficulty come down and everything like that. I was like, oh, okay, it's really something to this healthy eating stuff. Okay. So I started becoming more and more into it and everything. And I started learning about vegan and vegetarian and what was the difference and what they eat and what we eat and what is the difference. And my dad was, and I am too, a straight up carnivore. So I had to learn how to fix food for him to think it was still meat, but I knew it wasn't. So I learned how to do that, and I love it. So I love helping people stay healthy, get on a healthy trail and everything like that. So my why was just like Valika, it was nutrition, it was health, it was getting us back to being healthy again after so many years of eating deep fried food. Don't get me wrong, I still love my deep fried food, but I don't eat it as much. I don't eat it as much as I used to.
All right. Lauren, I see you shaking your head over there.
Well, for me, I would have to tell you there was a combination of a push and a choice.
Okay.
I was previously involved with broadcast media in a top 10 news market, working behind the scenes. And I'm sure everybody's familiar that news has become quite the 24/7 crazy maker. And it is no different behind the scenes. I was much younger then. I started when I was in my mid 20s, and I made the very, I would describe it, courageous choice to divorce that career. I worked every show, every shift. We're talking morning shows that were sometimes 4 hours long, to the weekends, to Redskins playbook, the whole nine. And I had, all of us are usually Black women are extremely ambitious. And so after grinding that hard, and I was trying to get what I considered a top seat as a full-time director, and kept being passed over, it was very crushing. Um, and it was cannibalizing my time and my life. I did not have a life outside of my career. So I chose me. And entrepreneurship became one of the ways to put myself first and to pick the choice, learn to be the CEO of myself. And that began my journey back in 2006.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Alicia, tell us about
Last.
destination travel. You're not last.
Yes, everyone. I'm Alicia Steele. I'm with Lyrics Destinations. I am the owner. The inspiration behind the name is my daughter Lyric, who has special needs, but that girl loves to travel. She first
Okay.
wheels up happened at 8 months old, and she's been addicted ever since. And every moment is what I would have to say was most hard for her during the pandemic was not the fact that she couldn't go to school or that she couldn't see her friends, was because that she couldn't go to the beach or a ship. Her passion comes honestly from me. The dedication to the business, of course, is by her name. Her name is Lyric. And the love to travel is something that we share, and creating those experiences for not just myself, but those who also have a passion and a desire to see the world and to enhance their life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lauren, let me jump back to you because to go from um, the field that you were in, broadcasting, to wanting to educate people with the
Sankofa
Sankofa
Phoenix.
Phoenix Institute. Tell us a little bit about what's your greatest inspiration, maybe some mentors or some coaches that have brought you to where you are today.
I believe the first one who really gave me the, I guess, paradigm to even think that that was an option was a African American life coach by the name of Valerie Burton. When I saw her, she had written books, and she seemingly was successful and thriving. And she talked about having autonomy of her time as well as her own economy or money. And I was like,
Mhm.
that's exactly what I want. So she, along with a whole host of
I can
others,
hear.
she was the very first one, but there were a litany of different women along the way, along with a number of ancestors in terms of them telling us to, pursue our own, build our own, be our own.
Exactly, exactly. Can anybody else chime in on what's been their greatest inspiration, mentor, coach that has helped you to get to where you are today?
I would say for me is my children. Um, I kind of like how Lauren put it in terms of you're looking at the ancestors and also looking to the future, right? And so looking at the lifestyle or the opportunities that I'm able to create for my children, that's really what inspires me to be the best version of myself. I think
Right.
with entrepreneurship, you have the opportunity to really become um, who you were created to be. It'll take it's like the most rewarding and most challenging journey because it requires a different version of you. It requires um,
Grits.
a level that you've never really achieved. But as you grow and develop and actually become that, you can really live a life you never imagined. And so for me, it's my children setting an example for them, modeling for them what's possible for them. But also in terms of mentorship, the mentor who actually got me into finance, um, he was a person that led by example, right? He was somebody who was willing to teach me and invest with me even before I could financially become a client of his. He was willing to just teach me, and so that is something that I carry forward in my own business. Always operate with that of integrity, to be able to pay it forward to help other people, right? Like not make me the focus, but really look at who I can serve, like you mentioned earlier, in terms of paying it forward. So that's been my
Absolutely.
inspiration.
Absolutely. That's great inspiration. Char, I see you just chomping at the bit. Tell us about what's your greatest inspiration, your mentor, your coach that has helped you to get to where you are.
Mm,
I can't
I
hear.
would say I was poured into by a lot of friends and family, but I would think my greatest inspiration was my father. He's been passed away 30 some odd years, but I remember growing up and the entire time he was a truck driver and he was an owner operator. He owned his own truck and he was always pushing to want to be your own boss. It's nothing like setting your own hours. There's nothing like, when you want to take a vacation, you take a vacation. There's all these things where you have so much control over what you do. And I always said, one day I'm going to get there. One day I'm going to get there. And although I still work a full time job, but I'm on my way to being able to say, everything's on my own terms.
Yes.
And I'm excited that I could fulfill something that he could not because of his passing early. So I want to carry on that torch and bring it through the rest of our family.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And it seems to be a great common thread that A, we're interested in serving people, but B, we also want to pass it on to the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, tell us a little something about your greatest inspiration.
I like feeding people.
All right, that inspires
We
me.
like you.
Great
Let
inspiration.
me
That's
put
the point.
I
let
mean,
me
that's
We
it.
like to eat. We like to
That is my
I love you.
inspiration.
let me put
I
a
love
plug
feeding
in.
people.
Let me put a plug
Right.
in.
So,
If you like Old
um,
Bay fried chicken wings, Lisa is your girl. I'm gonna just put that little plug in. They are addicting. They are
Phenomenal.
something good. And if
exactly.
you don't
So,
see it on the website, ask for it. Ask for it. She has some special stuff that she don't have on there that she can cook. Ask for it.
yeah,
Go, carry
that's
on, Lisa.
true.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
That's
just had to put
true.
that in there.
I mean, I have friends that I started in another business, and I have friends that was like, just stop, just feed us. That's all we want. We don't want nothing else. We just want you to feed us. So I was like,
Okay.
eh, I don't want to do that. I don't want nobody telling me what to cook. I don't want to, I was like, people don't eat this. They can't have this. I was like, that's too much. He was like, no, just feed us. So I finally went on and took the plunge and I did it. And be honest, I haven't looked back. I totally love it. Like
Wonderful.
I said, that's my inspiration, just feeding people and making them smile. So um friends have been very supportive. Passing it on. I've met a lot of great people doing this. So my inspiration is just keep making people happy and feed them.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, you
She's
can.
very modest because I am actually a client of Lisa's and she's been feeding me for over the last year. And she does more than just make your stomach smile. She frees up busy people, from having that, right? I have two young children. I got a full time job. I'm trying to run a business. And so not having to worry or think about how am I going to maintain my health and have healthy meals on a regular basis is everything. So I sincerely appreciate her and value what she offers, right? Like it's not just meal prep. It really is freeing up time for busy people so that I can build my business, so that I can, be more available and accessible to my children. So it's not just about food.
All right.
All right,
All right.
Lisa, get that down because up in here in Delaware, we like to free our time up too.
I'm just envious. Like, can I get away?
Right.
I know, Alicia,
Thank
you've
y'all.
already shared with us a little bit about your inspiration being your daughter, but tell us who some of your mentors may have been that have helped you along the way.
Well, honestly, I would have to say, I forgot who said that, but I want to I believe Charge. And my thoughts from my childhood, I would have to say it was my father. He always taught me, baby, don't have all your eggs in one basket. Always have to think beyond what's going on presently. Prepare for your future. Have multiple streams of income. Align with things that resonate in your soul that you're passionate about. But if for whatever reason, since a young age, me and my father was in the Air Force and we traveled extensively. And I want to say traveled. It was like every 2 to 3 years we were packing up and moving to another city. And back then, it didn't have value to me as a child. But as I got older as an adult and I acquired all these friends, I learned about all these different cultures. I experienced all these new um, places. That to me felt like home. So being stagnant, never being able to move, and now that my father was on the military, and we were in a permanent location, I missed the constant moving, the interaction, the engagement, and learning things to come back and like, oh, and think about and decompress. Like, hey, I was able to get away. I was able to experience this. I was able to just disconnect from my responsibilities and unwind and connect to where Alicia wanted to do when Alicia wanted to do it. So it that to me was the inspiration. My father pushing me out of the nest per se, pushing me out of my comfort zone and inspiring me to think about things that were important to me. And then the other piece of the puzzle, of course, was my daughter Lyric. And that's where the name of the company comes from. She's autistic. She has a passion to travel. She gets it honestly because myself, I don't just love the travel. It's ingrained in me. It's who I am, and I love creating experiences for people as well. So it's a twofold: my father and my daughter. They had my inspiration.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Donna, I hope that you are able to hear. I understand you had some
Yeah, I can
technical
hear now.
difficulties.
I
Wonderful.
had to go. Mhm.
Tell
So,
us a little bit about your greatest inspiration, maybe some mentors, some coaches that you have had up to this point.
I'd say the greatest inspiration was my campfire girl teacher
Okay.
coming up, and because they took us. Oh, well, that was a bluebird. Yeah, I was a bluebird, not a campfire girl. But she took us out, and we learned different things. But not only that, it was three beautiful black women that took the time on Saturdays to show us how to sew, to show us how to make jewelry, to show us how to make just different things. And then when I got older and I took that bead class and I saw how beautiful jewelry could be, um, that was my inspiration. And not only that, to have my mom and dad, they've always been creative and taking me out and doing things with me. So that helped with my creativity because we'd always like decorate and just to see things and looking at to jump to something else to see underneath the scope what the stones look like in their rare form. And that's when I started taking the bead class and realized some of the stones are such beautiful, so beautiful because they come from underneath the earth, and then when they're polished and shined, they're some of the most beautiful adornments, and they've been here for ages. So that is my inspiration, and to say that to guide me, I've had two people to help me along the way. One of them was India Parsons, and she was my coach when I said I was going to step out of my comfort zone and go into doing this as this is what I want to do because I'm getting closer to retirement age, and this is something that I want to do. This is my passion. I've been doing jewelry Oh, since 2009, but I really had put it on the back burner because I had other things to do. And then I met up with Monica Ball, and I was on the radio station for 2 years talking about Jewels from the Heart. So those are my inspirations. I've had several people along the way.
Wonderful. And I don't want to miss an opportunity to plug Boom also. That's how
Oh, that too.
this great collaboration has even come together today. How we've got a great cadre of women in the fulfillment circle that help keep each other accountable to business so that we don't just get weary, weak, and worn being out there on our grind by ourselves. But the way I came into Boom was I was in another business class and they had invited Maya Harris, the founder of Women Owned Minority Businesses, in to just kind of give some advice. I happened to be the only student. It was three of us that were supposed to be there, and I happened to be the only one there. And let me just tell you, Maya just came in with so much stuff about how to get me jump started. It was like drinking from a fire hose. And I when she sent me her friend request and told me how to get to her website, I just would have been a complete fool not to have come underneath her wings and been able to glean from her all that she does in trying to get business birth. When you have a business that's in the birth canal, it is painful, and so
Mm.
that's kind of her
Amen.
specialty. Yes, that's her specialty of getting you out of the canal and on your feet and running. And so I just wouldn't want to miss this opportunity of even how we are collaborating today because Maya, in her desire to help women own minority businesses get their businesses off the ground, get it from being an idea into fruition and then making income. I mean, that's her specialty. And so, Maya, if you watch this later or you're watching now, thank you.
Yay,
Yes,
Maya!
yay,
Amen.
Maya. We want to
I
celebrate
got
her for sure.
something.
May I just say
I
something?
wanted to.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
I
may I
y'all
just
wanted to
say
chime
shout
right
out.
in.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out Donna.
Okay.
I've been broke messing with Donna. I got
Lisa, don't tell all
I
of
got
it.
4 of her pieces that I'm telling you. She designed this beautiful necklace for me from a picture that I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and rolled over and was looking at TMC, the old movie channel, and I saw this necklace and I was taking pictures of it on my TV screen. And I sent it to Donna, like, can you do this? When I
Oh
say
wow.
everybody at my goddaughter's wedding tried to take my necklace, I was literally trying to fight in heels. Love my necklace. Then she made me another necklace.
thank you,
She
thank
made
you,
two
thank
for
you.
my daughter because my daughter thinks she really Princess Curl or somebody because she going over to all the wrong sites like her mama got money coming, off the tree. And I sent those pictures to Donna's like, my crazy daughter want these. When I say my daughter opened them Christmas morning, she was all ecstatic. I was like, see, and it didn't cost me $400. So she is really good. If you want anything that nobody else has, Donna at Waterbird Jewels is your girl.
All
I
right.
love her. I've even given her jewelry
Thank
away as
you, thank
Christmas
you.
gifts. So it's great. She is wonderful.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank
Uh,
you, thank you, thank you. But not only
You're
that, when I was
welcome.
doing, thank you so much. I appreciate it. When I was doing radio, I had Maya on my show,
Okay.
and that's how I got to meet Maya. So I've been
Wow.
connected to Maya ever since then.
Wonderful. Valika, I don't want to leave you out. Tell us about some of your inspirations, your mentors, your coach.
Very similar to the rest of you ladies. I would be remiss without saying my parents. They
Wonderful.
laid the strong foundation for me, and all I can remember is never forget who you are and whose you are. And my mom's been passed away for 16 years now, but I found myself following in her footsteps. She was a principal. I'm now an administrator. She started her own business. I'm a year in with Herbalife, and I can recall my parents always saying, no matter what, it's great to go to college, earn your degrees, but have a plan B. You never know what can happen. So Herbalife is definitely my plan B, and I'm loving it. But from moving forward, my greatest inspiration of all is my son. He's an only
Wonderful.
child, 21, spoiled rotten, my best friend. But I want him to see that the sky beyond the sky is the limit for him. Right now, he wants to be a chef. So I'm like, well, okay, great. That's great. And I support you with that. But think about starting your own business. And what better way of him doing that than watching his mom? So, yeah, my family. My
Wonderful.
family is my inspiration.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Can
Let
I
me,
real quick? I'm
yes.
sorry, Grandor. I just love how just listening to all of the women and their stories. There's this common thread that even though maybe our parents weren't able to show us, right, they planted that seed that has allowed a lot of us to be able to start our own
Mhm.
businesses, right? We might have heard it, or maybe we didn't see it, but they knew enough to know that we were going to need something different moving forward in order to be able to carry that torch. Something that Lauren spoke about earlier, this idea that our ancestors before us have promoted certain ideals about having our own businesses and things like that. And maybe in their time they couldn't realize it, but they knew that if they planted that seed, it's blossomed into who we are today. So that's just beautiful to be able to hear, that common thread throughout that, like, our parents, were the farmers, if you will, right, that cultivated that seed that's allowed us
Mhm.
to become entrepreneurs today. So I just wanted to bring that all together there.
Yes. And Majida, while you still have the mic, why don't you tell us how your life has changed since starting your business? And then we'll go one by one.
Okay. So it's everything's changed, right? Like, I don't even recognize the person that I am today through my entrepreneurship journey, right? Like, a lot of times I think our identity is associated to our career, or based on who we've been in the past. And just to be transparent, right? I went to school for civil engineering, and so I've worked in construction project management for the last almost 15 years. And so, like, I didn't see myself as a financial strategist. I was told to go to school, get good grades so you can get a good job. And, like, that was the end of the dream, if you will. There was no plan after that. After you get the job, then what's next, right? You just work the job for the next 30 or 40 years, and then you retire and hopefully enjoy life at that point. And so, coming out of college, when I realized that reality wasn't the case, like, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I wasn't, really able to do the things I wanted to do. I had to shift my mindset. I had to seek out wise counsel, somebody who could show me a different way. Because a mentor of mine said, he said, your role model is a photograph of your future, right? And I could look at the people that are around me, the people that I care most about, and they were all working hard. Most of them are living paycheck to paycheck and just getting by. And I'm like, that can't be my future, right? Like, I know that there's more for us than that, right? Not just for me, but there's more for all of us than that. There's more to life, right? We should be able to live fulfilling lives. And so that's what, started me on that journey to really, like, seek out, like, how can I live a fulfilling life? And the journey, right? They say it's not, I actually have on my vision board, love the journey, not just the destination. And so the
Mhm.
journey of becoming who I feel like I was created to be, becoming an entrepreneur, um, blazing my own trail. Like,
Mhm.
I've just evolved into this person that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like, I wouldn't have even recognized, because I never saw myself as being this. And so I would say it's changed everything about my perspective, my outlook on life, and really what's possible for me and my family and for my community.
Wonderful.
That sounds
Wonderful.
like a new shirt, y'all.
Hey, I was
Mhm.
listening. I was listening.
There you go. That sounds like a new shirt. I like that one.
What's that? What was that? I didn't catch
Mhm.
it.
Your
Your
what you have up, your banner you said you have
on the
up?
vision board.
Oh, love the journey, not just the
Yes.
destination.
Mhm.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
Lisa, while you still have the mic, tell us how your life has changed since starting business.
Freedom.
Whoa, yes.
That's, to
Amen.
me, I'm gonna be honest, freedom. I roll
Okay.
over, it's raining outside, I put the cover back over my head and I go back to sleep. It's
Okay.
the freedom for me. It is
Okay.
straight up the freedom.
Okay.
Um, I was never a Monday morning person anyway. So getting up Monday morning after not even going to sleep Sunday until like 4 o'clock in the morning because I didn't want to get up. So I'm like, I'm already got a bad attitude because I'm getting up now 3 hours later and getting ready for work. But once I got laid off and I started doing things on my own and making money on my own, I was like, why was I out there working again? I don't understand.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm sure, just like Majida said, that's what you're taught. You
Mm-hmm.
go to school, you go to
Mhm.
college if you want, you
Yeah.
get
Yep.
a good job, you spend 40 years there, you come home, retire and be broken. I don't want that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when I started working for myself, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I don't feel like doing nothing today. I sat on my couch in my pajamas and sipped on cocoa. I was like, oh, okay, I'm liking this. I can do this. So I had to appreciate what I did learn up until that point and took it from there into my business and going around and meeting a lot of new people and joining groups and everything, not necessarily just women groups, but groups, period, that were new entrepreneurs and we all feeding off each other and learning new things. That's me. I was like, I'm great with this, and I know everybody be like, well, it was this inspiration. And don't get me wrong, I love my kids. They 22. That wasn't my inspiration. My inspiration was freedom.
Okay.
When my daughter is running track, I have the freedom that when she goes to track meets on Friday, I don't have to ask nobody, can I have that day off because I want to go see my daughter run.
Yeah.
That was that's my inspiration. That freedom to be there for my kids when they needed me to be there, not worrying about if the boss gonna let me have that day off or not. So
Right.
that was me.
All right.
That's
Somebody
good.
else share how your life has changed since you started your business.
Well, I mean, I guess it's one of my favorite authors said it best, Maya Angelou. My mission in life is not to survive, but to thrive.
Oh,
And
yes.
working, yes, and working in a nine and working in a 9 to 5, corporate office setting. It was mundane. It was wrenching. It wasn't fulfilling. It
Right.
felt as though I'm meeting their agenda, their goals, but they didn't resonate with
Mhm.
Right.
Alicia. It didn't, and me
Right.
taking, and I noticed that I started buying more vacation weeks and more vacation weeks because that's where I felt alive. Not only from an aspect
Mhm.
that I set my own time and I went and came as I pleased, but just to be in a different environment, a new element, it just awakened my soul and made me feel like I had value in my life. And so to me, the main thing that's changed as being as an entrepreneur is not just living, that I have value and I'm passing on something of substance to my children, generational wealth. And it doesn't have to be, monetary. It can be, having a fulfilling life.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. Lauren, I see you shaking your head. Tell us how your life has changed since you,
Amen corner over here. I
yes,
was
since
listening
you have
to
started your business.
Alicia. Pain is a motivator.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, when I think of who we are as Black women, I mean, we all are familiar with the strong Black woman, and that really came from survival. And like Alicia was saying, we don't want to just survive. No one, I don't care who you are, just wants to survive. We want to thrive. And so
Mhm.
for me, in terms of what it made me, I was unhappy in my career. I jumped off and chose myself, but it has not been a crystal stair. As far as freedom, it gave me the opportunity to address the cracks in my Black.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that is because you often hear Black don't crack, but it does. With the things that we have inherited historically, with the things that we have encountered in shall we say, predominantly white spaces in trying to
Mm-hmm.
prove ourselves worthy and just as competent and still coming up short, working double time, coming in early, staying late, working the weekends,
Yes.
Yes.
all of that,
Wow.
having to
Yes.
swallow
Yes.
all of that. Um, those are very painful experiences. So when people say, you know, this population, they're more susceptible to obesity and being overweight and hypertension and diabetes and deaths from cancer, stress has got to go somewhere.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it shows up. The cracks in our in black show up that way. So it
Yeah.
forced me to take a look at what has been and how I started to mimic what I saw in my predecessors in my own family tree. And it made me figure or make the choice. I made the choice to pursue health as well as my
Mm-hmm.
autonomy. And in that way, that's how entrepreneur has changed me. Being a CEO, I believe, starts with being the CEO of YOU
Yes.
and
Mhm.
stepping
Woohoo!
away from the plantation and
Yes.
knowing
Mm-hmm.
that the world is open. There are so many answers right inside of you that people have stolen your voice or tried to silence you. So finding the courage to choose you and step up to that, whether it's designing clothes or jewelry or cooking, or for me, it's been coaching. And I'll put this piece and then I'm going to yield back to the rest of my sisters. I chose coaching. Originally, I thought I was going to pursue, in addition to coaching, becoming a licensed professional therapist. But what I have found as I was navigating my master's in behavioral health is that there was something that was missing. That is a modality that, while it is meant to help, it deals with pathology. And when you're coming from a place, as all of us are, as descendants of those who were enslaved, Africans who were enslaved, the last thing you want is another pathological label heaped onto your human experience. And so
Mhm.
Mhm.
I felt the need to create an option for women like us to be whole
Mm-hmm.
and to be authentic and fully step up as ourselves. And that is what entrepreneurship has presented to me.
Yeah.
Wonderful,
I
wonderful.
love it.
Wow.
Loving it.
While she's talking about health, behavior, or otherwise, let's hear from Valika. Valika, tell us a little bit about how your business has changed your life.
Lauren said it perfectly. Just having the courage to step out of my comfort zone. I can teach and run circles around the classroom all day long, but when it comes to speaking to other adults, unless you're in my bubble, I'm an introvert.
Mm.
So I had to step out of my comfort zone. It's like, okay, to be a wellness coach, you can't be quiet. You have to talk. You have to interact. And this has truly been a blessing because I've been able to network with women who look just like me, women who could speak into my life and again help me find my
Mm-hmm.
voice, help me step out my comfort zone and share my personal journey. With health is more than just what you eat. It's more than what you're feeling on the inside, on the outside, but it's what you're feeling on the inside as well. So when being a supervisor with Herbalife and finding my courage, my platform, my voice, it's helped me to self-reflect, to get healthy inside and out. Back in May, my doctor told me I was borderline obese, borderline diabetic, borderline hypertension, the things that Lauren mentioned, stress. Where else was it going to go? And I didn't recognize it at that time. I'm just working from home. I'm eating, but you own a business too. So again, how can you encourage other people to, take care of their health if you're not doing the same? So I found my voice. I started doing the work, making the changes, and doing my entrepreneurial journey. When I went back for a follow up in November, I am no longer borderline anything but borderline reaching my amount of success.
All right. Whoop, whoop.
All
She
right.
has run for the border.
Yes.
Um, and I'll share my little nugget about, I guess, encountering somebody who was drinking some of that tea. Do you know what tea I'm talking about? It's like it's got apple cider and something else in it, maybe mango, or what is
Mm,
that tea called? Let's put that out there for the people.
You're talking about the Herbalife tea, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
What is that called?
So we have different teas that will give you energy, and that tea
Hmm.
comes in mango that gives you a sudden burst of energy, and also it has aloe in it, which is all natural,
Oh,
good
okay.
for the skin, good for the energy, and just throwing in a shameless plug. My dad has GERD, and that tea helps tremendously with his
Okay.
GERD. So
Wow.
But I ran into a young lady drinking some of that tea, and she looked like she had been drinking from the fountain of youth, and it smells so good. I said, "What are you drinking?" And she told me it was this Herbalife tea that had all these things that you just mentioned. And I said, "I'll tell you what, I need to sign up for getting some of that."
yes,
Because she worked at this particular place for 28 years, but she looked like she was 28 years old.
All
I said,
right.
"Did they hire you from the cradle?"
Right.
Is that
Let me
tea
keep drinking my tea
that
then.
has got you looking so young?
Sign me
Sign me
up.
up,
yes,
Malika.
you
I'm
can
gonna
drink
go
it
to your
hot,
website.
cold, however you like
Yes,
it. It works.
I'm gonna go to your website.
Okay.
I got to get some of that.
I
Shar.
can attest to that. I can attest to the tea. It works very
Okay,
well. I take it twice a day. I have the aloe in my tea, everything. And if you
wonderful,
put the aloe in, you don't need sugar. It gives it that flavor that you. I mean, just it's wonderful. It wakes me up.
wonderful. Well, Char, tell us a little
Really
bit
good.
about how your life has changed since you've started your design business.
My life has changed a lot. I'm kind of like a twofold. So as you see, we're all talking about my shirts and all, which I love. I love doing my
Whoop,
shirts.
whoop.
And they started with wanting to express. I always tell people you can advertise for yourself. You can walk around with a shirt on, and I guarantee you at least two people are going to say, "What does that mean?" If they don't know what it means. If it's not so, then that's your in. That's your in to talk about your business. That's your in to talk about
Mhm.
anything. If speaking of that, Lauren, if you had a shirt that said, "Ask me how to fix the cracks in your black," people would say, what does that mean? Like, how am I? That's your in. Hey, I have this class. I'm a coach, and this is how you. So it's always a way to advertise. You just have to come up with something catchy that will get people to ask you a question. So
Right.
that was like my force. Like, how do I get noticed? How do I get people to get noticed to want to purchase from me for them to get their business thriving? And in the midst of doing
Hmm.
that, I kind of evolved a little more and started working on a clothing line for plus size women. And it just birthed out of this because I would go to stores and I couldn't find things that I liked. I couldn't find things that were stylish. I couldn't find things that fit the way that I'm shaped. And so I've been kind of like trotting that line and like, all right, let's get this going for the women that look like me, the women that are built like me to feel comfortable, when they go out. We want to look good all the time, whether we're wearing a
Hmm.
t-shirt, whether we're wearing something to go to work, or we're just out doing our daily errands. We want to look good. So, that's kind of like my focus. My freedom is helping women, curvy plus size women, look and feel beautiful without breaking the bank.
All right now. All right, says the curvy girl.
Yes, indeed.
Donna, give us something of how your business has changed your life since starting your business.
It's changed by meeting other people and learning so much more. Like you're studying the stones and what parts of the world they come from, and just to see it does me good to see how it uplifts others. That's it uplifts me because I had said I'm an introvert too. So, I just wanted to like step out of the box, step out of the comfort zone.
Mhm.
And that was a way for me to get to know people and to show them going to when we could going to shows and setting up my booth and whatever. That was a way to meet for me to get out there and meet people and let them know about the real stones and what part of the world they come from and how long have stones been around, and it just to uplift because I love doing what I do. But as I say, if I you have to love what you do.
Mhm.
Yes.
But if you can tell somebody find their passion, I don't care if if you see 50 people making pizzas. If you love making that pizza,
Right.
it's going to show
Your
and it's
pieces.
going to
Mhm.
uplift because somebody's going to buy that pizza from you.
Yes.
There people talk about, well, a lot of people are making jewelry. Yes, a lot of people are making jewelry,
Mhm.
but you have to have that passion. You have the niche. God gave me, God gave me, he said, don't stop. Keep going. Sometimes I'll slow down for a little bit, but that is the utmost thing to just keep going. And, that's my reward just to see someone, just like Lisa said, she loves the jewelry. I don't charge a whole, I don't, I'm not trying to make somebody pour a whole lot of money out for the jewelry but I know what I make is quality work. And I want to thank her for saying that. But let me tell you about Lisa. I ordered my Thanksgiving dinner from her, and that was the best Thanksgiving dinner I've ever had. I didn't have to cook.
Whoop whoop.
I've ordered my
Woo.
I've ordered her dressings. You
Yes.
you can put
Okay.
them on a salad or bake your chicken or whatever in on that. I mean, I love them. So,
Yes, her secret sauce.
I yeah, her secrets. I
Yeah.
just like to uplift whoever and whoever I come in contact with. And you're a great bunch of women, and I love being around y'all.
Oh,
And
we
it's an
love being together
inspiration
That's
to
too.
really
me.
Me too.
beautiful.
I
Yes.
Yes.
love.
That's a great segue, Donna. She kind of answered the next question also, because I'd like for all of you ladies to kind of talk about who your target market is. We don't know how many people will view this, who are viewing it now, who might come back and catch the replay. But tell us a little bit about who it is that your niche fits. Who your target market might be, and let them find you through all of the various ways by which we have connected. Let's start
Hmm.
with Lisa.
Why?
Anybody who eats,
I
anybody with
started
teeth.
loving it.
It's
What's
all of us. All of us.
what's the qualifications? What are you looking for? Anybody who want to eat?
Let's see.
Anybody who want
Anybody,
food?
right? That's pretty much. But anybody that wants to maintain a healthy lifestyle but don't know how, or a busy person that has a family and the kids got four different activities to go to, and you're tired of having fast food. Um, that's who I'm looking for. The busy individual, the busy family, anybody that wants to maintain their healthy lifestyle, they need help with that. That's come see me.
And you do meal prep, so you can bring it already packaged, and they can
Yep.
take it from there.
Just pop it in
Wonderful.
the oven. Yes.
Ready to go.
Wonderful.
Heat
Valika,
and
tell
eat.
us who your target market might be.
My target market is for anyone who is ready to be consistent and committed to the healthy lifestyle journey. The shakes and the teas that we talked about are appropriate for children. Like I said, my 80-year-old dad, he indulges in them. I know several people who use the teas and the shakes to make popsicles for their young children. If we can use shakes for a pre-workout. So there's one of my favorite items called Prolessa. If you're a new mom or you're just looking to get rid of that little kangaroo pouch, our Prolessa product is wonderful for that. So anyone that's looking for something different, for energy, just changing your healthy lifestyle with a healthy shake. In addition to meal replacements, I also have a beauty line. We have skincare, we have hair care. One of my favorite products is the shampoo and conditioner. So for all my natural girls, I have natural hair and I use the shampoo and conditioner and I absolutely love it. It works wonders. It's amazing. I was skeptical at first on how it would work on ethnic hair, but it's amazing. We have soaps, we have lotions. So my Herbalife products are wonderful. We also have essential products. We have Best Defense, which is your vitamin C. We have immunity products. So whoever is in need of those items, I'm your girl.
Can you spell that
Okay.
P word for it so that Majida can put that in the
Yes,
in
So
the
let's
chat there so that we
so
know
let's
what to click when
I
we get
would
to your
love
site?
to.
Spell that word.
It's PROLESSA, Prolessa. And I was that girl for 21 years that said I just had a baby.
Oh
Prolessa
my.
has worked tremendously. I no longer have to say I just had a baby. I see the changes in my stomach.
All
I'm
right.
add,
That's what
I'm
I'm
adding that
talking
to my
about.
next order, Balika. I'm adding that to my next order.
You will
Yes.
love it.
Yes. I want to make sure we know how to spell that so we know what to click. Lauren, tell us a little bit about who your ideal client would be.
Certainly. My ideal client is the Black woman who finds herself in midlife, specifically around the age of 35 and beyond. I pick 35 because 35 is halfway to 70, even though a lot of times we are feeling that, oh, they're still pretty young. What are you talking about? Why are you calling her midlife? Like I said, there are things that start to happen. She may be, as she's approaching her fourth decade, looking at empty nest. She may have gone through a situation where her career is starting to plateau. She may start having challenges with her own personal health. She may have also found herself also becoming a caregiver. So she's sandwiched between a lot of things. And in a youth obsessed culture, and particularly when you're navigating melanin skin, you need that support. You need that safe space. And so I created Sankofa Phoenix Institute to be that space for her to begin to reclaim herself and hold on to her crown.
All right now. All right. Tell us a little bit, Majida, about who your target customer might be.
So my target customer is somebody who is ideally a parent or professional who is frustrated, stressed, worried, uncertain, who needs guidance, right? They're looking for help financially. They want somebody who can relate to them, who's willing to walk alongside them to help them on their journey, and they they want better for their family. They want to be able to protect their family. They want a better financial future for their family, but they just don't know where to start. They don't know who to trust, and they don't know what questions to ask. And so I consider myself, I call myself a financial conductor because I want to help people get on the right financial track. And some of us just need some help, right? We haven't been educated about finances either through
Mhm.
school. Most of us haven't learned it at home. And so my goal is to assist those busy parents and professionals with putting certain things in place foundationally to set a good foundation for their finances and build upon that. So yeah, the busy parent and professional who just needs some help, needs some guidance, and wants somebody that they can trust. So
Wonderful, wonderful. If you broke, busted, and disgusted, that's the girl. That's the girl. That's the girl. Let me just wrap this up. This has been a wonderful hour, ladies. We're going to close out with just basically in like maybe 1 minute or less, telling people what you want them to know about you as a businesswoman that can help them to decide if they're going to become your client or your customer. Just in 1 minute or less, let's just wrap it up and say what it is that you want people to know about you as a person that could help them to decide if they're going to get on your website, call your phone, and connect with you. Alicia, you just joined us. I'm sorry that we had changed the question, but let's start with you. What do you want people to know about Destiny Travel that would help them to choose you when they're ready to go?
Actually, it's Lyrics Destination.
Lyrics. Oh, I mean, why
And
did I
it's
say?
named my.
I told y'all I make up stuff. I put a disclaimer out there. I'm sorry. Lyrics
It's no problem.
destination.
And today is my baby girl's birthday. Lyric, so shout out to you, darling. I love you. What do I want people to know, and why to entrust me in planning their experience? It's not just vacation. Uh, is that I don't take it lightly. It's something that I'm passionate about, and that I have the vision to create memorable experiences based on not just what you tell me personally about what you want to experience, but maybe things that you didn't even know that the destination had to offer. Other offerings that you can add to create that lifetime experience. And I know I've used experience 3 times, but it's more than a vacation. For some people, you don't have the means to do it often, or you can't get away every year. So you want to trust somebody who has the know-how, the education, and most importantly, the passion. Because you can have education and you can have know-how, but without the passion that drives you to that next level, to me, it just speaks volumes.
Well, let me ask
It
this.
does, and it goes from because, and I know I missed the last question. I had some technical difficulties. It goes from my destination weddings to my group planning. I also have a solo Black women solo group travel called Black Queen Travel. But I do want to put a precursor. I want to put a disclaimer out there. Even though it's Black Queen Travel, I have other races in my group because we are all regal in our own way,
Hmm.
regardless of your background. So whether I'm doing a group for the girls, whether I'm doing a group for an escorted group that I do personally myself, regardless of your gender, you can participate. Or I'm doing a destination wedding. I'm always in the front seat, putting it together as if it's my event, it's my trip. I want to make sure that no detail is left unturned, and that you get every penny out of what you put into it.
Can I ask a question in case they haven't been to see the coins, lady? Do you put them together based on a budget? Can they give you a number as to what they want to spend, and you create the experience based on what they're able to spend?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's a great question, and that's one of my main qualifying questions. Like, everyone's uh, budget is going to be based on their own personal limitations, or I should say lack of.
Okay.
And budget is a key factor in determining what your appropriate destination may be and where you potentially will want to travel.
Wonderful. Let's jump
Hmm.
over to Char. Char, tell us what you want people to know about you as a person, about your brand that could cause them to connect with you after this video.
What I would want people to know is that we're here to make a statement for you. We're here to advertise for you. We also have our own line that you can check out, and there's some things. I also do rhinestone t-shirts as well.
Oh,
And I want you to subscribe to our website, www.adesignbydiva.com, because in 2022, we are going to drop our ready to wear collection for plus size curvy women, sizes
Whoop, whoop.
16 to 22. So I
All
just
right.
want people to know we're here for everybody, and we're moving. We're moving, and we got the wheels turning. So stay tuned.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Lisa, what is it you want people to know about you?
Um, uh, I don't know.
She
I
has
don't
said it
know.
all. She has said it all. She wants to feed you. She likes to feed
I did.
people.
I
She's got a
mean,
secret
that's
sauce.
right.
She
That's
has
hmm.
these
it.
salad dressings that have words that you don't have to Google to figure out what's in them.
Yes.
Just
Exactly.
if you want to
I
eat,
mean,
that's
that's
your
it.
girl.
I just
That's
want
your
to feed you.
girl. Them Old
Yes,
Bay
I
chicken wings. I'm
just feed
telling
you.
you, ask for them.
I gotta pick some next week.
Yes, ask
I
for
gotta pick
them.
some next week for a baby shower. But I mean, that's it. I just want to feed you, and I want to help you stay healthy.
All right.
Everybody start out on a healthy journey, but by week 2, I say week 3, you like, yeah, whatever. Pulling McDonald's drive through and keep it moving. So I want to help you stay that way. I want to help you stay healthy.
All right.
Hmm.
Donna, tell us what people need to know about you.
Um, if you have an idea or you sketched a design, just let me know, and I will do my best to make it. Um, because I think of my jewelry as something that can be passed down from generation to generation. So I do jewelry for men. I do jewelry for children. I also had done jewelry for dates with dad years ago when the little girls were going to see their fathers in prison. So, it's a lot. All you have to do is contact me at waterburyjewels.com or email me at waterburyjewels@hotmail.com, and I'll see what I can do for you.
All right.
Well, Marie, I like special pieces, so I will be sending you something. I always do something for my mother special and myself, and both our birthdays in September. So get ready.
Okay. Okay.
Did everybody
I
answer
have.
this last round of questions?
I didn't.
No, I
Okay,
didn't either.
come on, Lauren. Okay, come on.
Okay, so something about me, I would say that I am one of you. I am not coming to you as an expert. I would describe myself as a wounded healer. That's the whole premise behind Sankofa Phoenix. Sankofa, for those who may not be familiar with the word, it comes from the Ghanaian language of Twi, and it means go back and fetch it so that you can strategically move forward. And of course, when we marry it to Phoenix, it means to rise from the ashes. I've had my own personal ashes, being that we are connected through the enslavement of those of African descent in Western territories. I understand the historic trauma. I understand the superwoman syndrome that you may be experiencing, and I want to help you to rise out of that. So,
Wonderful, wonderful. Who
Um,
else? Come on.
hey,
Yes.
I would like to say that I'm authentic. I'm a real person. I know oftentimes we look at Instagram models or people on television with dramatic weight losses, but I'm here to help you through your journey. And as we journey through great things together, help educate you on different Herbalife products, and in addition to how we should eat, but more importantly, how to be holistically whole and healthy outside and inside.
Yes. Yes. Who else? Did we miss
I
anybody?
think maybe me.
Well,
You,
come
you
on
um,
here, Rashida, the coins lady. Come on now.
I'm doing video production right now. um, I would just want people to know, and I just love Lauren's connection to like our ancestry. Like I'm no Harriet Tubman, but I am your financial conductor on the path to financial freedom.
come
And
on through.
um, I'm here just I'm someone who's just like you. Just like Lauren said. I believe all of the women here, we are women just like you. We're mothers, we're daughters, we're some of us are spouses, whoever the case may be. We're just like you, and I believe each and every one of us has just taken that step to create a better life for our families. And what we want to do through our businesses is to pay it forward and help other families
Yes.
that achieve a certain level of success, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, whatever the case may be. Like, we really just want to share how our life has benefited from what it is that we do. We want to just share that with other people. And so that's what I want people to know about me. Like, I'm just here to share what's benefited me and my family to help us get on a better track. And if I can help you and your family to do the same, definitely reach out to me and let me know how I can serve.
And that's what it's about. Is once you have cracked the code, and it is almost being a Harriet Tubman. You keep going back and getting people who are broke,
right, bring
busted,
us.
and thoroughly disgusted, and then you go get them, tell them how to crack the code, and then hopefully they will keep reaching back and telling
Yes,
somebody else how to crack the code. And that entrepreneurship is a really big part of the code cracking,
Yeah.
because nobody is here to tell you how many hours you can work, how much you will be paid an hour, whether you're going to get a 2%, a 5%, or a no percent increase. Is based on your grind. And so we're always excited and delighted to come together to bring great minds together, but more importantly, great women who are code cracking and out there just making it do what it do. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have been glad to serve you in this hour. Hopefully something has said that you would discover somebody who you didn't know could provide a service that you need, and that you would be open to allowing us to serve you, because that's where our heart is. Thank you again. We are the Fulfillment Circle. And ladies, we believe in collaboration
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 Over
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 confidence.
competition.
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 Yes.
Thank you. Goodbye.